All right. Starting to let some folks in to the webinar now. And as per
Nice.
always, since we are talking about realtors, Charlie, I'm gonna give a few minutes. I'll give a minute or two because um let's face it, in real estate time, realtor land, if you're two or 3 minutes late, you're basically early.
You're
Uh
early.
and so we'll go ahead and start letting folks in and doing that now, but I'll wait a minute or two before I kick you off because I don't want to have folks miss too much or too many people miss the intro. And I'm excited for today, dude. This is gonna be good.
Yeah.
You and I
Yeah.
have been talking about this system for a long time, and so I'm kind of glad that you're ready to roll this out and share this with the world and kind of share your system and your process for getting stuff done. So that should be cool. If you have a question, feel free to type it into the Q&A or chat, and go for it. But we're not gonna have anybody else who's going to be able to come on and unmute and speak, so to speak. But you can definitely type your question into the question or the chat bar, and we will get to it as soon as we can. Charlie, I don't know. I know you got a jam-packed content here. So if you have time towards the end and you want to hang around and answer some questions, great. But if not, I know then we could maybe do some follow-ups or something, maybe through the Facebook group or whatnot.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll leave some time for Q&A, and then yeah, we can do more in the Facebook.
Right on. All right. I'm gonna
I
give
mean,
10:02. I'm gonna give one more minute and then we'll get started, dude.
yeah, I think the first time we talked about this, I was in Costa Rica
You actually
and
were in Costa Rica, yeah.
it was raining outside, and I think that's a few years ago. That was a few years ago.
Yeah, it has been, hasn't it?
Yeah. I think it was 2020, 2021, somewhere around there.
Dang, dude.
Yeah.
It's hard to believe it's already been that long. Time flies when you're having fun,
Ah,
right?
it's true. It's true. Yeah. Guns N' Roses released Use Your Illusion 30 years ago.
Oh God. Don't say that.
Yeah.
I remember that fondly.
My wife showed up rocking out to November Rain with the kids in the garage the other day,
Oh
rolled
yeah.
down the window. We were singing like we're singing a family melody.
Awesome. All right, dude. It's three after. For me, that's about, as a guy who's like always on time or early, that's about as far as I can go before I start to feel weird about being late. So let's get it kicked off. For those that come in late and miss the intro, whatever, then catch the recording. I'll pre-answer that question now. Yes, this is being recorded. Yes, I might email it to you if you're kind. But if you're mean, I'm not going to email it to you. Looking at you, Molly. So all right. I'm going to start us off with an intro. I'm excited for this webinar. As some of you heard my friend and I, Charlie and I, talking as you were coming in. We've actually been talking about this for a couple of years. So Charlie and I met through a mutual friend, Zach. As some of you may know, Zach Hammer. We've done a few webinars together and just been buddies for a number of years. And Zach introduced us, and so thankful to Zach, and just a little shout out to Zach for what he does for connecting people. And when you and I first met, we were talking a lot about your referral business because you basically work part-time, which is something I love about you. I love how lazy you are. I always say I don't know if I'm lazy but ambitious, or ambitious but lazy. It's one of those two. I'm not sure which one yet. And so that's the thing I admire and respect about you, because it shows up in my life too, dude. So I love that you love to travel and take as much vacation as possible and work as little as possible while still being ambitious and making some money. And so
Right.
you had told me back when we met about the system, how you've always generated referrals and been able to work so little time in your real estate business, but still consistently bring in six figures a year. And so you went out and you actually put it together to share with other people. So I'm excited. So Next Level Agent Facebook group. This is exclusively for you. This is my friend Charlie Madison, who is going to share with you his we'll call it referrals while you sleep system and process. And hopefully you can take some of what he shares today, make an impact. I've watched it from the sidelines with him for the last few years. I've watched him do it and have an awesome business while still maintaining a great sense of balance in life with his family and travel and all that good stuff. And so, Mr. Charlie Madison, I'm gonna turn it over to you. You're the star of the show, my friend. I'm gonna shut up and let you go.
Awesome. Thanks, man. It is good to be strategically lazy. I'm a former workaholic, and I, had to. I remember as a former workaholic, like I missed so much stuff with my family, and there was a moment where I was like, "All right, I got to do things smarter and better." And yeah, so now I tell everybody I'm just strategically lazy. And so, welcome, guys. My whole goal is I'm going to walk you through the 3 simple steps of the system that I've got. Um, and a little bit about me. I'm unemployable. I've always worked for myself. Right out of high school, I started developing websites. I taught myself how to program, and I led a marketing company for 13 years. And I was the lead programmer before I got into real estate. About 10 years ago, me and my wife went to Costa Rica for 3 months. And when I came back, we got pregnant with our first kid, and I was kind of led and switched into residential real estate. And I was lucky that I met some people that helped me put some marketing together, or I was able to work a referral based business. And I kept looking for people that I could give money to that would actually understand referral based business and like help me technology wise. And when I realized that there wasn't anyone that could do that, much less affordably, I was like, you know what, I'm a programmer. How can I do this? And so that's what I've done. And so I really just want to share this with you. And then I'm going to leave some time for Q&A. And there. So I do call this Referrals While You Sleep. It's my software company. At the end, I've got a really cool offer for some of you guys. If it's a good fit, that's awesome. If not, my whole goal is that you know exactly what I do, and so you can do it yourself through this. And um, this works. These are some of my friends. One of my buddies, he's a lender. He was one of the first people that I did this with outside of myself. He did 82, got 82 referrals in about 3 years. He said 110K in gross commissions, ended up being about 100 grand a year that he added. One of my friends asked her, I was like, what is it about this system? And she said, it just works. And she actually had someone that she'd chased for 4 years, just call her out of the blue. That it just closed a few weeks ago. Here's, I think it's real small. You can see there's like 1.1 million people that we reached in last year through this system. This is one of my friends, Bryce. Uh, this is a little video of his. It's going to give you referrals again and again and again. And so my goal for you, where I was, is when I go into social media, I just get sucked in. I get trapped. I don't want to be like Gary Vee. I don't want to post stuff every day. Um, I really just want to let social media work for me. And like Kevin said, I'm pretty strategically lazy. And so what my goal is, I want you to go from how do I like go from social media to I've got a system that works for me, so I'm top of mind. And one of the reasons I'll share this story, one of the reasons that I built this, I had a client, and I really knocked it out for him. Him and his wife did really, really great, helped him buy their home. I've got a real estate practice here in Nashville. And a couple years later, I saw he had his house listed with someone else. And it's like just stabs me in the heart, right? Like it happens, but I don't want it to happen. And I'm good friends with him too. So I called him up and I was like, hey, I'm curious, like why did you not call me back? He was on my newsletter, he was on my postcard, like I've got a buy referral business. I do things. And he said, I was just I went to a new church. I was around this other guy more. I just thought I'd spread it around. It wasn't a big difference. And I'm strategically lazy, but I also believe in personal responsibility. And I realized, like, it was my responsibility to be top of mind with him so that I'm the only choice. And so I started thinking, like, what can I do so I'm top of mind every single day that builds connection, influence, and authority? And two of the books that I really love, one is by Robert Cialdini. Uh, it's called Persuasion, the Factors of Influence, or Influence, the Factors of Persuasion. And another is called The Like Switch. And it basically says, here's the ways that people get influenced. And I started thinking, like, how could I build all of that together? And um, that's what this is. So let me share my screen again. Um, but part of my goal is, how do I have that experience of seeing someone else's sign in one of my friends' yards not happen again? And so what this system does for me, it builds connection, influence, and authority to everyone I know. It it's everywhere to everyone I know, and it's pretty awesome. So the first thing I want to do is talk about content, because we've got three things. We've got content, we've got uh, and I forgot the next one. Oh gosh, this is hilarious. We've got content, we've got distribution, and we've got your audience. That's what it is. And so what I found, these are the 6 shortcuts of um, influence from Robert Cialdini. And these are ones we know: reciprocity, scarcity, authority, consistency, liking, consensus. And I thought, like, what if I could get as many of these people to be seen by people that know me all the time? That's the audience. So the first thing that we've got are photos that actually showcase my personality, my network. Um, because what I found is that my people in real estate, they hire me because they like me. I've got to do my own, I've got to do a good job. I've got to, get the house sold. I got to be able to find them a house. I've got to be able to lead, guide, and protect them. Uh, to get in the game. But the reason they refer me, the reason they come back to me, is the way that I make them feel. And so the question is, how can I remind them how they feel when the reason they like me? And what I found, kind of the secret, is photos of me that show me doing fun things with fun people. And I think I've got some examples here. Um, So here are the types of photos I'm talking about. They're not business photos. I don't know if you can see these well. It's a couple of them are they're just off the cuff. A couple of them are photos of me. People love seeing pictures of babies. These are my one of them has my 4 boys. They're 10, 8, 6, and 4 now. They're my life. And this right here, it's one of my least favorite photos that I use, but people love that photo because it's just off the cuff. I was at a 4th of July party. Here's one of my friends, Paul. These are the types of pictures that we use for him. And like this is him right after the gym. This is him on a hike. It's the type of pictures that you post on Facebook or Instagram that you get tagged in. Just pictures of you doing fun things with fun people. So that's the first piece of content. And what's cool about is this is content that you don't have to create. I'm strategically lazy. I don't want to have to create the content. I don't want to have to spend time, brainstorming and coming up with the calendar and all that. All that I do is whenever I'm out, I just give someone my phone and say, hey, take a picture with me and my friend, take a picture with me and my family. It's really that simple. So that's the first piece of content, photos. The next is testimonials. Whether they're on Google, Zillow, Yelp, um, Facebook. What I do is I gather all of my reviews, because well, one of the issues with having reviews and testimonials is uh, people only find them when they go to look at them. So what we're going to do with this content is the third step. We're going to actually show this, keep it in front of everybody. But right now we're gathering the content. And we know testimonials make a difference. If I just say, you know, I'm awesome, that's one thing. But if someone else says I'm awesome, I mean, that makes a difference. You know, if we go up here, number 6 of Cialdini is consensus, which means social proof. And so that's the second thing. I take all of these testimonials and I just put them in a Word document because I'm going to use those in a little bit. And one of the cool things about this system is you don't have to have a lot. For the longest time, I only had 5 testimonials, and I've used those 5 now for like 3 years. And I'm going to check, see if there's anything in the Q&A. There's not. And then the last thing that we've got are duo videos. And this, the reason that I'm sharing this with you today is when I discovered these duo videos, this was the secret sauce. I wish I could see y'all's screens. I've never used this webinar. I've just used regular Zoom before. But I think all of us know, I knew that I needed to do video, but most of the time, if I'm just talking to the camera, video is pretty like, it's not fun. It's not really a great conversation. It's just me talking. I know for me, when I talk to a camera and I don't see any feedback, I'm talking to the camera, but I've got a whole nother little voice in the back of my head saying, just talking. It's like a whole circus behind me. I've got 2 conversations. What I discovered is when I have a duo video, and that just means it's a conversation, a Zoom conversation with someone else that is in a similar industry, that video is amazing. And the secret to make this work that I found, here's kind of the tip, is to find someone that is where it makes sense for both of you to meet regularly for the show so that both of you can get something out of the conversation. Because before I found these duo videos, these were my options for doing video. One, I'd put it on my calendar and I'd just never do it. 2, I'd buy all these courses and then I'd put it on my calendar and not do it. 3, I'd pay someone for accountability, and I did that. I paid $6,000 and someone would meet me every other week and I'd do a short video and that way it'd get done. Or 3 or 4. And what I found in this duo videos is if I've got someone that I can talk to about real estate or life, and on our calendar, frequently we can meet and just have a conversation, that makes it so much easier. And one of the things that I've discovered, like every marketing company says, you want to do short videos, 30-second videos, 15-second videos. And I think this is a writer downer. Short videos create short attention, but long videos create connection. And I just don't want attention. I want connection, because at the end of the day, my clients are going to hire whoever they feel the most connected to. And what I found works best is to actually do this with my lender. So the reason is, me and the lender, we talk about real estate all the time anyway, and it's easy for them. All that we're doing is hitting record, and the lender can talk about real estate and I can talk about real estate, but it's just a little different. And so the other thing that I do is every other week I meet with my lender and we just have a conversation on Zoom. And people ask how long. One of the cool things about the system is it can go as long as you want. Me and my lender Paul, when COVID first broke out, we did a 43-minute video because everything was up and crazy. We had 3 people watch the video, and we got 2 clients from it. And how we know, they actually said, "Hey, one said I watched all the video, and the other said I've been watching it over time." So most people won't, the question is, who's going to watch a 15-minute video, a 20-minute video? That's usually how long my conversations are. And the answer is most people aren't, but they're going to see me for a moment. And like, that's what I want to do. I want to be seen as an authority. And when they see me on screen, it's this will be on Facebook or Instagram, so it auto plays. People's subconscious still views if you're on screen having an interview or a conversation, that creates authority. So whether they listen or not, it does its job. But the other thing is who's going to watch all of it? Someone that's really thinking about buying or selling right now. And that's great. Like, that's what I want. I want those people to build a relationship with me. And with the duo videos, it's just easy for me to drop into the conversation. What I found is eventually, after about 5 minutes, I forget that the camera's recording and we're just having a conversation. And I like to think of it. I've tried surfing, when I was in Costa Rica, I tried surfing, and I felt, when the wave and the board catches and it just takes off, that's what I'm looking for in the conversation. Like, the first few minutes are kind of, we're getting our feet, but then all of a sudden the conversation takes off and we forget that it's recording. And then eventually the conversation dies. We hit stop, and that's the video. So those are the 3 pieces of content that I've found work really well. And what's cool about that is the photos really don't take any time at all. The testimonials, you probably already have some. If you don't, that would be something worthwhile to getting, because if you've got reviews and testimonials, I mean, you guys are smart. You guys are in this um, NLA group because you guys know what you're doing. Like, we know how powerful testimonials are. If you don't have any, it makes sense to get some. And then the third is duo videos. And that is what I found really creates the connection, and really 10X is the result of this. And find a mutually someone that it makes sense for both of you to do that. So that's the first part, content. The second part is automating your audience. And one of the things that I discovered when I was looking for someone that I could pay to do this, very few people understand that in real estate, what I've discovered most of the time, leads are a liability. And what I mean by that is, out of 100 leads, maybe 1 or 2 will close. 3 if I'm, really hounding them. And it just takes a ton of time, energy. What I found for me, leads drain my time. They drain my energy. They drain my bank account because I got to hire ISAs. I've got to pay for software to follow up with them. And so I created something called the lead efficiency index, which is on a scale of 1 to 10. Where does the client fit in these 3 things? 1, how likely are they to close on a scale of 1 to 10? 2, how are they going to follow my direction on a scale of 1 to 10? And 3, how much do I enjoy working with them on a scale of 1 to 10? When I get a lead, they're usually at a 3 to 6 on that scale because I don't even know them yet. But what would happen if in my business, I only worked with people that were a 27 to 30 on that scale? They were a 9 or 10 on likely to close. They were 9 or 10 on they'll follow direction, 9 or 10 on I enjoy working with them. And when I ask that question, it really unlocks something. It's why, I work 15 hours a week. I make 150 to 250 grand a year GCI in real estate. Um, I did more. And when I had my kids, like Kevin said, I wanted to be more efficient with my time. And my goal is to get my real estate practice time down to about 10 hours. And the way that I did that is I'm focusing on only working with people on that, what I call the high lead efficiency index. And where are those people? Those people are people that I know, or people that consume my content. But it's people that pass the grocery store test. If I saw them in the grocery and they saw me, we'd say hi and we'd enjoy talking for 5 or 10 minutes. And then like you've got that conversation that says, "Oh man, I've got to go, but I wish we talked more often." Like those are the types of people. And the way that I found that out, um, a few years ago, it was 7.5 years ago, my dad got sick and he had cancer and he died. My dad died Father's Day weekend, like 7 years ago. And I was destroyed. Like I didn't know what to do. I called my coach and said, "My dad died. What do I do?" And his encouragement was grieve, do what you have to. When you've got work to do, compartmentalize it, do your work, and then go back and grieve. And for about 7 months, I had my real estate practice. I could only work like 1 or 1.5 hours a day. Like I was just destroyed. Like I didn't know how to live. And I was in a networking group and we'd meet once a week. And there was one of my clients there, potential clients that I talked to before my dad got sick. And I said, uh, what ended up happening, like I didn't have any energy to follow up with people, do prospecting. I couldn't do any of that. But what happened is every week I could go to this networking group. And so eventually she said, "Hey, we're ready to sell our house now. Will you please help me?" And I was able to help her. I could still do a good job. I just couldn't work much. And what I realized, like, what would happen if I worked with people who I don't have to chase, that they're willing to, ask how I'm doing when I'm sick, or, I can be in Puerto Rico or Costa Rica and that they're happy working with me. And what I found is those are people that pass the grocery store test. And so for the audience, um, what I found is I'm terrible at updating my database, even though I know how powerful it is. Um, but I'm great at talking to people. I'm great at calling people, emailing people, texting people. And so my audience is: one, I export my Google contacts; two, I export my iPhone contacts; um, three, like this is kind of database building 101. I got a spreadsheet. I go through any directories that I've got of people that I know, and who I write down is anyone that if I saw their phone call me, I smile. If I don't think I would smile, I don't talk to them. That's or I don't put them on this list. That's what I want. I want to work with people because there's plenty for everybody. I love the book Ninja Selling, and I'm part of Buyer for Lonely coaching. And historically, out of every 100 households that I know, 10 to 20 there's going to be 10 to 20 transactions a year. And my goal is, how can I be in front of those people so I can get the majority of those transactions? For me, I've realized that there's kind of two businesses in real estate. One is I'm going to look for people that don't know me, that are going to move in the next 90 days. And I'm going to try to convince them to trust me. Or two, I'm going to have my list of families, like I live in right outside of Nashville, Tennessee. The truth is I'm friends with 1,000 people on Facebook. I know thousands of people here. I want to stay top of mind with the people that would pass the grocery store test, so that every year that 10 to 20% have view me as an authority, view me as an influential person, and feel connected to me. I want those people to come to me. I want to be top of mind. And what I've discovered with this system for me, um, is that they just reach out to me when I'm ready, which is really, really cool. So that's to me, that's one of the biggest things is um, I want to automate my audience with people that I don't want to have to build a database. What makes me great at real estate makes me terrible at building a database. I'm great at responding to fires, jumping in the car, looking at a house, handling low appraisals, handling the last 3 days, whatever happens. Like I'm great at that stuff. And, one of the other things that kind of hammering this grocery store test about the audience that I've discovered in real estate that's different from roofing or, anything that's got one conversion point. In real estate, we really have at least 5 conversion points. We've got one, we got to get them to meet with us. 2, we got to get them to hire us, sign the buyer or listing agreement. 3, we've got to get them to agree to buy put in an offer at a price that'll get accepted, or list the price, list at a price that'll get a buyer. Those are the first 3 conversion points. The fourth is all our contingencies. We've got to get through inspections. We got to get through appraisals. We got to make sure they get all their docs to the lender, make sure they work with the lender that actually knows what they're doing. And then the fifth conversion point, I just call it the last 3 days. And I tell my clients up front, I don't know what's going to happen the last 3 days, but for the most part, something always comes up and it looks like we're not going to be able to get through it. And we do. That's why I get paid. That's how I get my money. And um, so those are 5 conversion points that we have, and we don't make a penny unless someone actually converts all 5. So one of the reasons I want to work with people on the high lead efficiency index, the second part is they're going to follow my direction. I want them to follow my direction on all 5 of those. And I think that's something that no other marketer or marketing company really understands is we don't get paid a penny unless the person converts at all 5 of those. I mean, we've had it happen, right? Like you get to the last 3 days, something comes up, and especially if it's a lead, they're just done. I don't have any influence. I don't have any authority. I can use all my magic words and scripts, and they're just like, nope, I don't have any connection to you. I'm going to ghost you, and I'm done. So that's the audience part. And I'm going to show you how to automate that as well. And then, so the first was the content. Second is automate the audience. And then 3, delegate the distribution. And I thought the best way to share this is I'm actually going to share my screen. And I've got a rule that I break every time, which is never do a live demo. So this probably won't work well, but I'm going to try. And this is really kind of where it all comes together. And the way that I delegate the distribution is I run these as Facebook ads in a very unique way. And so I'm going to share my screen, see if this works. And what I do is, one, I create what's called a reach campaign in Facebook. And I've got a budget of $3 a day. So that's really cool. That's all the ad spend that I run. And within that campaign, what I do is I run 3 different ad sets. And I'm going to walk through how this works and what I do. So the first ad set is, I call it dynamic images for Facebook and Instagram. And I'm going here, and I'd love feedback. If this is good or helpful, could you give me a thumbs up? Put it in the Q&A. I'd love to get some feedback. I'm blowing through this, and hopefully it's helpful. Awesome. And So get back. So I've got a campaign and I want it to maximize the reach of ads. I use my Facebook and Instagram page. And then what I do is I select dynamic creative and I run this for a month. So this started today from March 1st to March 31st. And then for the customer list, what I do, that audience that I created of my phone contacts, my iPhone contacts, I use that as a custom audience. And this is brand new, something that we just started doing is we also target anyone that's interacted on my Instagram page over the last year and anyone that's interacted with my Facebook page in the last year. So all that I'm doing is targeting people that I know. The reason $3 a day works is because even a list of 15,000, 20,000 is small for Facebook. They're used to a list of millions. So that $3 a day to just people that know me goes really, really far. So this is, and then I leave all of the targeting default, but then I do manual placements. And what I do is I want these ads to be all on Facebook and all on Instagram. So this is the campaign I run. And so what this is going to be is an ad that runs for a whole month on Facebook and Instagram. The other thing is I set up dynamic creative because this is one of the ways that makes it super simple. So this is the ad set. I'm going to show you the ads for it now. So in that set, I only create one ad and going through here, I target the Facebook page, my Instagram page. I choose a single image or video. And then earlier we created the content. We got our photos. And so here are the photos. I'll run up to 10 photos for the whole month. And as you can see, they're just photos that would normally be posted to me on Facebook, selfies, my kid, my wife. That is the photo content. And then for the text content, I use the testimonials that we grabbed earlier. So I call these Robert Cialdini ads because they have similarity and liking through the pictures. They remind people who I am, that I like to travel, like me. And then we've got the social proof through the testimonials. And what's cool about this being a dynamic ad is Facebook's AI actually takes this and they mix and combine the images and photos. There's a good goofy photo of me at a Christmas party with my ugly Christmas sweater that says your mom likes Santa or believes in Santa. But it takes these photos and images and puts it on all these places: Facebook Marketplace, Facebook Reels, Facebook Business Explorer, Facebook Stories. And so imagine that audience that you built are seeing different photos and different testimonials of you all month long. So they don't get banner blindness. They don't just see one thing that's over and over and over. And it's you, you know. So that is the first ads. One of the questions I get is, does it go to a landing page? Is there a funnel? We've tried lead forms. We've tried funnels. What I found is with these types of ads, people are just going to call you or text you or email you. I had a Facebook message the other day, see if I can pull it up if we've got time later. Someone said, Charlie, I'm pre-approved and need to buy a house. It's been a while since we talked. And so we actually, I've got a showing agent. They went and looked at homes a few times this week. And I looked and I haven't talked to the guy since 2017. I sold his house in 2016. He moved to Hawaii. He moved around. There's no way that I could have like really kept in touch with him without, calling all my sphere like you're supposed to, but I'm not going to. But he saw this stuff. And so when it was time to move, he reached out to me. So that is the first campaign with ads. I'm going to jump down to the second campaign because it's almost identical. The only difference is we target the main thing that we target here is apps and sites. So what I want to do here, one of the cool things about this is Facebook has partnered with, ESPN, New York Post, your local news, we've got WKRN, and we run these same ads on websites all over. And I had a friend a few months back, he came over and he's like, I was reading a Daily Mail .co.uk article, and there was a picture of you and your family, testimonial, business must be going well. I had another friend, he was reading the New York Post and he snapped a picture of my ad there. And these create so much authority because anyone can kind of advertise on Facebook and Instagram. But when you advertise on these other websites, it really blows people's minds. And also it creates a lot of authority because people are like, how are you doing that? You must be like, business must be great. You're everywhere. So that's the second campaign ad set. And then the third ad set right here, I call it non-dynamic videos. We target all the same thing. We have this on Facebook and Instagram. It's just like the images, but we actually create an ad for every single video that we want to use. And so, I'm doing duo videos. And so, once a month I add new videos. And what I found that works really well with this is I'll take the transcript from the video, I'll run it through Chat GPT, have a nice description, call to action, and I upload this video. And again, what's cool about this is the video auto plays and it runs in all of these different places. Like, people can't escape me. And that's one video. See, here's one. This is an older one. I used to do it where it was like one person at a time, but I found I like to do it side by side because if it's side by side, then no matter who's talking, they see me right away. And again, my suggestion is do this with a lender because the lender will love to have that conversation. And hopefully you've got a good relationship with your lender where you can get in front of his database as well. And I know I've got a great relationship with my lender. I want him to be in front of my database so that when I refer him, they use him instead of, Rocket Mortgage or whoever it is. Here's another one with a friend of mine. So, and what's cool, we can run up to 10 videos at a time for that $3 a day. So just imagine, if you're doing a duo video every other week, within 90 days, what's that, 12 weeks, you got 6 videos running and they're just mixed and matched. So every time someone goes online, they see you. And so that is how I really delegate the distribution. It's one Facebook campaign a month with 3 different ad sets. 2 of them are dynamic ads with up to 10 photos for testimonials, and the others videos targeting Facebook and Instagram that I upload. And let's see, I've got a QA. All right, thumbs up. That is awesome. And that is it. Can I go ahead now and kind of share the offer? I'd love to do this for a few of you guys, and if it's okay, I'd love to share the offer now. What I do, that is the strategy. And so here is, I think it's something that you'll really like. That's my hope. So what my company does is I actually built a software that automates your database for you. What that means is we connect to your Google Photos, your iCloud photos. We can also do that with your spouse. One of the things I'm glad I went that I also export my spouse's contacts because I found a lot of times I've got the husband, she's got the wife and her phone. I want them both to see me. Because in my perspective, a lot of times if the wife wants to choose a realtor, she wins. So I want to be in front of both. And so we actually automate all of this. We're your easy button. So it's all completely done for you. And what that means is, well, like we build your database for you. I built a program because I'm a nerd that automatically syncs with anyone you call, anyone you text, anyone you email, whether you're using an iPhone or whether you're using an Android. Um, so that's the first thing that we do. We build your database for you. It takes about an hour to get set up all in. And then anytime you call, text, email, you meet someone at Starbucks, they're added, they start seeing your ads. The next thing we do is we actually create all of the content for you. So at the onboarding, I'm your partner and we pull up your Facebook photos, your Instagram photos. If you've got Google Photos or iCloud photos, we'll sit there and I'll actually help you pick the photos that we found work the best. The secret is we want your face in it, and it's pictures of you with friends, with family, with clients, sporting events. And so we do that with you. Our goal is to get a bunch of them so that you never have to send us any more again. We found if we can get enough for about 90 days worth, we can recycle those, and people forget. A lot of times we get more than that. So that's the first thing. We get the photos. The second is we will go and grab your testimonials and reviews for you. We'll go to your Google Business, we'll go to your Zillow, we'll go to your Yelp, we'll go to your Facebook business page. We manually retrieve these, we manually curate it to make sure that it's right. And then the third thing we do is we actually walk you through how to do these duo videos with your lender. We've got a list of things to talk about every week. Kind of coach you how to do that if you need it. What we found is once you do a couple, you're like, oh, this is super simple. And what's cool is all that you have to do, we give you a private upload link. So you upload the video to us and we actually take we create a transcript, we run it through Chat GPT, we create the transcription, and we handle all of the videos for you. And then this says 2, but it should be 3. We actually handle all the Facebook, all the Instagram, all the mobile ads on your account. And so we take the photos, we take the testimonials, we take your videos, and just like I showed in my account, we create the one campaign, the 3 ad sets. We create all those every month for you. Let's see a Q&A. That's what we do. The question is usually, here's what it takes for you. If you want us to do this, it takes about an hour to set up the magic link onboarding. Then we recommend, every 2 weeks you do your duo video. So 30 minutes every other week, and then we handle everything else. So imagine if all of this was done and all it took was 30 minutes every other week. That it's what I do, like my team now handles this for me. And every other week I do a video. And I love this thought, like what would happen? I know for me, I get, I just get clients calling me. One of my favorites was in November. I had a friend, he said, it's the perfect call. He said, I've got a family member that's sick. I've got to sell their house in the next 30 days. I don't have time to list it. Please help me. What can I do? And so he hired me. We got it sold. I got 7% listing. There was no buyer side. He almost cried when it was done. He was so happy. He didn't think it could get done. Like that's that's what I want. Like those are the perfect calls, and I get paid a premium. I usually get 7% for my listings. A lot of times I'll get 3.5% on the buy side. And I tell my clients, look, I just work with a few people a year, and you get my undivided attention, and they love it because I'm not competing with other people on price. My clients come to me because they trust me. They want my advice. And so this is where, this is really what it would have cost. The reason I built this solution, I spent a lot of money and I was like, how could I get this affordable? But I mean, normally to get all of this done is, to I've got a friend, he helps people run a podcast. It's $2,500 a month. Back when I ran my tech company, I got paid $1,500 a month to be an ad manager. Um, Ads, most people, if you've ran ads, they're usually $10 a day at least. Video editor, $1,200 a month. All it could easily cost $5,500 a month to have all this done. And when I went to build this and like talk to Kevin, I was like, how to do this. Like I could either like make it really inexpensive or like find a good medium. Like, how could I do this? Was I going to hire a salesperson um, and then do the development, or was I going to hire a developer and me be the salesperson? Like, what would be the best way to do this? And my goal, like, I wanted to just make it as inexpensive as possible. Um, I wanted it to be a no-brainer. Like, I've got the best real estate career in the world. I work with people that love me, that'll follow my direction, likely to close, and I want that for other folks. And so this is what I came up with. And I'm looking for, I talked to Kevin, 12 people that I can do this for free for 90 days. The only thing that you have to pay for the 90 days is you pay $3 a day to Facebook for your ad spend. That means I'll onboard you. I'll run all your ads for you. I'll give you all the scripts for the Duo videos. Try it completely free. I'll help you do the Duo videos. At the end of the 90 days, if you love it and you feel like it's just been a no-brainer, it's $750 setup, and then it's $250 every 4 weeks. My goal is just to make it as just a crazy good value. And before the 90 days, if it's not a good fit, just let me know. We'll stop it. No harm, no foul. In real estate, we get paid because we deliver solutions. And I thought this would be the best way to do it. I found it's easier. It sounds too good to be true. And I found it's easier for you to experience it for yourself than try to convince you of it. And so for 12 of you guys, that's what I'm offering. Super simple. I don't have a lead funnel, anything. If you're interested in this, send me a text. This is my personal cell, 615-818-7795, and just say I'm in, and I'll get with you on the next steps. I'll post that in the chat as well. And I left a little bit of time for Q&A. I wanted to do that. Thank you guys for being here. Hopefully this was really helpful. If you've got put something in the chat or the Q&A, I'd love to answer any questions for you. Or you can raise your hand and I'll call on you. If there are any. Or you can sit here in silent meditation. Was this helpful? I'd love to hear. Oh, perfect. Hey, Eric. You should be able to talk. What's your question? Let's see. I can't hear you.
How about now?
We got you. Hey, how are you?
Okay. I'm doing good. Where are you keeping on your videos? On YouTube or Rumble or
We run them as ads on Facebook and Instagram. I recommend you also put them on YouTube, put them on your Facebook business page. One of the things that I'm working on this year is to be able to post it for you to your Facebook business page or your YouTube. But right now, that's what we do. So I take all my videos that I do and I run them as ads for the month. And what I found is if I just put it on, if I put it on a business page or I put it on a YouTube, some people may organically see it, but not many. So this whole
Mhm.
strategy, what I do is I run it as an ad. So they don't have to go to it. It goes to them.
On it to Facebook, and it goes from there.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And then they
Okay.
see it on all the Facebook, all the Instagram pages.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Um, yeah, thanks. I'm curious, anyone else have a question? Or do you have any other questions? Let's see. Gina asked, is it $3 a day for all 3 ads? It's $3 total. Yeah, so the $3 covers all 3 ads, which is really cool. So your ad spend is, $90 on a 30-day a month. So $3 a day covers all the ads. Good question. What other questions? I'll share. While we're waiting for that, I'll share the screen. It was pretty cool. I can pull it up. I'd love to hear kind of like what was your insight or what stuck out to you. You could type it in, raise your hand. I'd love to hear. Hey, Gina.
Hi, just quick question. I love the idea that you're selling yourself and you're not saying, do you want to buy? Do you want to sell? We'll give you a free CMA. Is that correct? Like you're the whole time, it's just testimonials and pictures of you.
Exactly. Yep. Yeah. You nailed it. Staying top of mind with the people. I mean, they know what I do. The testimonials tell them what I do. And of course, in the videos, usually at the end of the video, I'll say, hey, if I can help you, give me a call, give me a text. These are people that already have your email, phone number. So they'll reach out to you. Like no lead funnel is needed. Does that make sense? Oh, did I lose you? Oh, perfect. Yeah, that was one of my things. Like, how do I stay in front of my people in a really cool way? Oh, and so I want to share my screen here. This was the one that I talked to my buddy Travis. This happened, it was a couple weeks ago. This is where it's been a while. I hope all is well with you. I'm pre-approved through Wesley Mortgage. Can you help me find a new home? Like, this is the best reach out in the whole world. Let's see. Someone says chat is disabled. Let me see if I can allow chat. Can anyone chat? How do I do that? Like an old man stepping back from the stepping back to see. Chat should not be disabled. Can anyone chat? Is it? Oh, let's see. Here we go. Oh, now you should be able to chat. Thank you, Rob. No wonder it was so quiet. So chat is now allowed. While you're typing that, so this was Travis. It's been a while. can you help me find a new home? One of the cool things, people say you got to get back to a lead in, 3 seconds, 2.4 seconds, or you're going to lose them. These are people that know us. Like, that's not needed. He messaged me, I think it was a Friday night at like 10:05. And, I saw it the next morning. I was like, hey, it has been a while. I'd love to help. Can I give you a call this afternoon? We played phone tag for a little bit. Like I said, we're going out now, looking at houses. And what's really cool about this, so he reached out February 2nd, February 16th, 2024. The last time that I talked to him was 2017, like 7 years ago. And what I discovered about this type of database is there's so many people that I know that, like, they moved, they're not in my CRM, maybe their sister, um, um, got in real estate, but now she's out, and I think especially right now, one of the really cool things, like, there's a lot of real estate agents that got out of the industry. There's a lot of orphans right now, people that maybe, like, we went to school together, or, we used to be at church together, but then we used to play pickleball together or whatever. And then their sister got in the business, but their sister might be out now. And what I found, one of my favorites is my friend Mark. He got he got 4 deals in his first 4 months using this referrals while you sleep system. And one of them, it was a neighbor that he had from, I think, like 5 years ago, 6 years ago. He hadn't talked to the guy in 5 or 6 years. And the guy called him up. He's a lender, and he said, hey, I'm wondering, do I need to refinance? And he helped him. And then he got a referral to the guy's son. And he knows it came from referrals while you sleep because Mark was a neighbor with this guy and went to church with him and never put him in his database because he didn't want the guy to think he was just using, because he's in the leadership, and he didn't want the guy to think that he was using church just for business. And so because he had that, but the guy was in his phone because they were neighbors, they talked some. And he hadn't talked to the guy in 5 years, and the guy called him out of the blue and said, hey, can you help me? Thanks, Rob. I love that. It's gonna be really awesome to do this with you. And let me put my phone number here in the chat now that it works. 818-7795. Text me and say you're in. And let's see, I'd love to know kind of any other questions or insights. Was there anything new that you heard? I know one of my friends, he loves that I say leads are reliability. What I want are compliant clients, people that are likely to close, follow my direction, and I enjoy. When I started focusing on that, it really, really changed my business. I wish I could just unmute everybody. Is there a way I can do that? I'm just going to allow everyone to talk. If you're still here, you can. I don't know if that's dangerous or not, but we're all friends now. This is why I'm not in control of webinars. I've got a couple more minutes. If anyone's got any questions, and then we'll hop off. Awesome. Thank you guys so much. Awesome. Got your text message. So excited. I will follow up with you. I got a couple appointments today, and so it may be Monday when I get back in touch with you, but I'm going to do that. And I'm really looking forward to this. So it looks like we've got a few people, and we'll have a few slots. If you're watching this on replay, we should. And thank you guys. Have a great Friday. Make some money this weekend, and I'll talk to you guys soon. All right. Bye.